Okay, so this video is about how to target a customer or client that's outside your, what you would call your general area or market, to target for a local business. Now, local businesses out there I see all the time, they aren't actually doing stuff where they can get somebody who, for the most part, most people would consider an inconvenience to travel to and get your service or products that they have to physically come pick up because it's too far. So in this video, I'm going to tell you how you break out of that mold, and basically, well, in other words, you can sell anywhere in the world if you really were good enough at these strategies I'm going to tell you. But for the most part, you can sell either regionally or nationally, just making a slight tweak to what you're doing to your marketing strategy right now, and can go outside and obviously increase your market tenfold really easily. People looking that want the best product or service in your space, and learn how to market it to them so that you can deliver to them and they will come to you. So anyway, how to get your customers outside of your local area to buy from you and come to you and what your service is. I've created a short list of things here to follow. It's just a system that I followed and works fairly well pretty much every time that I've done this in the past for ad campaigns. So all of this is related to PPC, running Google ads, of course, using your Google ads to get people outside your general area. In the regional capacity, it may be somebody upwards of a couple hundred miles from where you're at, and then of course nationally if you take it one step further. But the first one on my list here is just recognizing what this can work for. Ultimately, anything that can be sold, ultimately that you think of as needing to be sold locally, you could break out of your local area using these methods. If you're a dentist, you could technically do this, even though for a dentist you're only going to want to go a couple miles from your home or office, typically, as you imagine, because there's dentists everywhere. But even with that, these methods will work if you apply these systems right. It may take a little bit more than for some other businesses, that there are fewer businesses in the general area or city where you live. But it will work for anything, and I've actually done it for businesses like dentistry, even though it's not general dentistry, but like for cosmetic dentistry it worked. And so for the most part, it will work for everything. If it can't work, I'd like to know ultimately, because I haven't really found anything it won't work for. Let's just put it that way. So anyway, the second thing on the list here to cover is you're going to be able to sell outside your area by selling quality. So in other words, don't be the person that's selling what everybody else sells in your general area. If you could put yourself in the consumer's shoes and say to yourself, I don't know necessarily why they buy my product or service versus somebody else's in the area, you've got a problem and you need to work on that first. For the most part, I don't care what you're doing or how boring you think your business is or what niche or industry you think you're in is, there is a way to break out of the mold and do something totally different so that you stand out alone as the one person in your space not only offers that thing, but that's the one thing people could say that if they could get it, they would choose you over everybody else. And that's the thing that you're looking for. And so how do we convey quality in order to get people that normally only come, let's say, 5-10 miles outside of your general area of your office or your store to come, start coming 60 miles away, for instance? Well, as mentioned, you have to come up with a one-of-a-kind offer, so people can you communicate first and foremost in your marketing that you have that. First of all, you got to do research to know what people care about. Of course, that part is definitely important. But what is it that you can do and only you can do, or that you can communicate to your market and that people want, so that people can't replicate what you're doing, and people will actually willing to spend the gas, or in some cases even fly in to come to you. It's all about, for the most part though, quality being different, but having higher quality. You are the brand name in your niche. Obviously you can do that through just word of mouth, but you can artificially create that persona surrounding your business itself by using a couple other paid tactics, if you will, to spice up your ad campaign so you can run it outside the general area where you're at and then pull people in, expand the size of your market, 5 to 10 times more than what you have right now and what you can get just with your ads normally in your market. The first one is using niche celebrities. So who is that person in your market that if they used it and everybody else knew that that particular celebrity or personality in your space, if they use it, then everybody else would want to use it. Find out who that is. That could be a celebrity, a general celebrity that everybody knows. It could be a personality in just your space that everybody in just your space knows. Sometimes that's actually better. But in either case, find who that person is and do everything you can to get that person to use it. It doesn't matter if you have to give away what you're offering to get their endorsement. It doesn't matter if you need to pay that person to use it, to get their honest opinion. You tell them that you just want their honest feedback about it. You don't try to sway what their honest feedback would be, but actually pay them to see it. Send them 15 FedEx packages in the mail, trying to get them to use your product. If you can't fit in the mail, you use a letter, customized letter saying what you'll pay them $10,000 if they use the product, give it an honest review. With that honest review, you could put that in your Google ad, first of all, and also then on your landing page, announcing that one person uses it, and then that right there is going to be able to get people that would normally only come 10 miles outside your market to 50 miles out just right away, sometimes 100. If you're looking regionally, that in and itself is pretty easy to do. So that's like at minimum what you could do with that. But going along those same lines, trade publications. Sometimes if you're a B2B space or something like that, then or in a very technical area, getting a hold of a magazine that is the #1 trade magazine or publication in your area, contacting them for a sponsored post or article, I should say, on their site. Could be a website itself, a blog, if you will, news site, online news site. Most of the publications anymore, because the advertising doesn't really pay as much as it used to, because advertising is more, it's saturated, if you will, due to online advertising. There's so much of it that they will take a sponsored article or a sponsored post for a few $1,000s where you can review basically yourself. There's a saying that anything that you say about yourself is only 25% as effective as what somebody else can say about you. So essentially, though, they, in a lot of cases, will let you publish an article about yourself, but it could just simply be you have someone interview you and have that in a Q&A format on the article itself, so it looks like they're interviewing you, or just get the publication to interview you like straight out, which some of them will also do that. But if you use that workaround, you can also then get what looks like a legitimate article on a magazine that people respect, and through the respect of the magazine, you will then get respect. And then, like the celebrity endorsement, you put that into your advertisement, you put that on your landing page that you're sending people through your ad, and then with that, people are willing not only to go further, much further, but they're also willing to pay a little bit more. So anyway, how far out can you go with using this method? Regionally, very, very easily, 3 to 5 times the normal distance. If you put yourself in the consumer's shoes and you Google for, tattoo removal, you see several ads there, but one, Kylie Jenner uses the service. The service Kylie Jenner uses, or featured on, the local 5 TV news station. That might be a little harder to get, but you want something of that impact or magnitude, of which is not hard to get with money. Just get creative. You can easily go 3 to 5 the normal times the distance out from your location that you would normally go. So once you get that into your ad and your landing page, extend the targeting radius of your campaigns times 5, and then you'll instantly then be able to pick up 5 times as many customers and pay off that $5,000, $10,000 it takes to get a decent celebrity endorsement that you have to pay, as I mentioned, or $3,000 to $10,000 for a trade publication, and then expend your market that way. Nationally, depending on your services, I've seen and actually helped a lot of doctors, plastic surgeons, stuff like that. If you can get a celebrity to use your service, you can get people flying all over the country. Hair restoration, lots of stuff like that. You can be a celebrity therapist. Doesn't matter. The people with the money, the people that want the quality, which in any market there's always 10-20% who will pay the most for the best. Be that person, and with that, then to get the best, a lot with the 20% who wants the best. There's a 10-20% within that segment of the market who will get on a plane physically and fly to you. Seen it done many times. That can extend, of course, your market size in your niche 10-20 times, because of course it's not going to be 100 times because there's only so many people still that will fly to you. But for the most part, you can extend your market 10 to 20 times more than what you could in the local market where you're at. And then with that, it costs maybe a little bit more to get a response and a customer or client or patient that way. But because you have that endorsement, you can now then charge more, a lot more, like sometimes as much as double for what you're selling. And you'd be surprised how much more you can sell for this, which is the other benefit of this. So with this comes premium pricing. And then of which that premium pricing allows you to spend more for the advertising. And then that advertising can get pumped back into the little bit of increased cost it takes to find the premium buyer in your market that also will get on a plane or they're willing to drive a few hours to get to you. And so it all works together. And so at the end of the day, with the increase in price, but the little bit of increase in cost to get an acquisition of each customer or client, it all kind of pans out to the same cost you would have paid normally anyway within your little local market, but now you have a market 10 times the size at the end of all of this. And so, but with that, if you go nationally, I recommend for sure that you target what I call wealth pockets. So basically, in Google Ads, they have income level targeting where you can target they have demographic data on how much people they earn per year by zip code, and you can target just the top 10% of zip codes by income demographic nationwide. And so if you are a celebrity or now become a celebrity plastic surgeon, you could target just the top 10% income classes nationwide. Or if you want people that want the best therapist, as I mentioned before, as a potential avenue there that can work, because I've seen many stuff like that work, you can target the top 10% as well. So you've got a person that has the capability to pay double if they could and the idea is they don't have to click on your ad. Your ad says that you're the best person in the country. They know it when they click on your ad, it is going to be expensive. You reinforce that on your landing page, they respond, then you get the double price that you normally would get, and then you funnel that back into your advertising. It all works out. And then with that, so in general though, in terms of ad copy, how do you actually express that on your ad to get people's attention? So they are going to want to click. You got that very premium buyer who wants the best and willing to and will travel to get it. On a regional basis, I'm going to say stuff like we gave tattoo removal just as an example where this can work. The best tattoo removal in South Florida, used by top celebrities in the area. Could just simply be as simple as that. Doesn't have to specifically name drop, even though it can. And then you, of course, name drop on the landing page to take people to. On a national basis, what can you say? The best rated service in the nation. Specifically, say that. If you're going to go out more than a couple hours distance from where you're at, I recommend taking that approach and making sure people know you're the best in the nation, not just the best in the region. If you're the best in the region, though, however, you don't say best in the nation, you say best in the South Florida area, in the Seattle area, and then you're, of course, if you're doing the regionally, you get a regional celebrity if you can, and so on and so forth. You kind of get the idea. Be most relevant to who you're marketing to as possible that you can. And with that, you're going to get what you want done ultimately out of this whole process. But anyway, expand your market, use the money you have coming in to get social validation of what you're doing. With that, expand your advertising. You don't have to just go and then no more go after people who, anybody you can find in your local area. Go after the high net worth, the premium buyers who want your services and your products that are better than anybody else's in your space. Maybe not by much, but still better. Just go after them. You'll have less headaches. You make more money. So anyway, hopefully that you like this video. You can see a lot of other videos like this on my channel, so you should subscribe. Ultimately, on my website, I have a blog with some money-making PPC strategies on there. I release a new video every day, and so hope you appreciate the video, and good luck to you in your PPC endeavors.